Ever feel like you're your own worst enemy? Like you're constantly climbing a steep, impossible mountain, only to realize that the mountain is you? It's a frustrating feeling, right? You set goals, you have dreams, but somehow you keep ending up back where you started, stuck in the same old patterns. Well, today we're rediving into a book that tackles this exact feeling head-on. The Mountain is You by Brianna Wiest. This isn't just another self-help book. It's a powerful guide to understanding and conquering the biggest obstacle in your life, yourself. By the end of this video, you'll have a clear roadmap to stop self-sabotage and start building the life you truly want. So, if you're ready to turn that inner mountain into a molehill, stick around. First, let's talk about what self-sabotage actually is. Brianna Wiest explains that it's not just about procrastination or making bad choices. It's a deep-seated conflict between your conscious desires and your subconscious beliefs. You might consciously want to be successful, healthy, or in a loving relationship, but subconsciously, you might have limiting beliefs that tell you you're not worthy, you're not capable, or that success is dangerous. This inner conflict is what creates the self-sabotaging behaviors. It's your subconscious mind trying to protect you from what it perceives as a threat, even if that threat is the very thing you consciously want. Think of it like this. Your conscious mind is the driver, but your subconscious mind has its hand on the emergency brake. Until you get them both working together, you're just going to spin your wheels. The book makes it clear that self-sabotage is a survival mechanism gone wrong. It's not a sign that you're broken or lazy. It's a sign that there's a deeper wound that needs to be healed. So, how do we identify these sneaky, self-sabotaging behaviors? Wiest breaks them down into several common patterns. One of the biggest is procrastination. You put off important tasks until the last minute, creating unnecessary stress and often underperforming. Another is perfectionism. You set impossibly high standards for yourself, so you're either too afraid to start or you're never satisfied with the outcome. Then there's the classic upper limit problem, where as soon as things start going well, you do something to mess it up because deep down, you don't feel you deserve the happiness or success. Maybe you pick a fight with your partner when things are going great, or you overspend right after getting a raise. Other forms include negative self-talk, choosing unavailable partners, or staying in a job you hate because it feels safe. The first step to overcoming these behaviors is to become aware of them. Start observing yourself without judgment. When do you procrastinate? What triggers your perfectionism? Recognizing these patterns is like turning on a light in a dark room. Suddenly, you can see the obstacles clearly. Once we've identified our self-sabotaging habits, the next step is to understand their root causes. Wiest argues that these behaviors often stem from unresolved emotional trauma and deeply ingrained limiting beliefs from our past. Maybe you grew up in an environment where your needs weren't met, leading you to believe you're not important. Or perhaps you were criticized heavily, leading to a belief that you're not good enough. These experiences create emotional wounds. Self-sabotage then becomes a way to cope. If you believe you're not worthy of love, you might subconsciously push people away to prove that belief right. It's a painful cycle, but it feels familiar and therefore safe to your subconscious mind. The book encourages us to dig deep and ask ourselves the tough questions. What am I really afraid of? What past experience is this current fear connected to? This process of introspection isn't about blaming the past. It's about understanding how it shaped your present so you can consciously create a different future. It's about tracing the smoke back to the fire. So we've identified the problem and its roots. Now, how do we actually climb this mountain? The core of Wiest's message is about building emotional intelligence and self-awareness. This is the real work. It means learning to sit with uncomfortable feelings instead of immediately trying to escape them. When you feel the urge to procrastinate, instead of giving in, pause and ask yourself, what emotion am I avoiding right now? Is it fear of failure, boredom, overwhelm? By identifying the emotion, you can address it directly instead of letting the self-sabotaging behavior take over. This is about transforming your relationship with your emotions. They are not your enemies, they are messengers. They are providing you with crucial information about your inner world. Wiest suggests practices like journaling, meditation, and mindfulness to help build this muscle of self-awareness. It's about learning to become the calm observer of your thoughts and feelings rather than being swept away by them. This detachment gives you the power to choose a different response. A huge part of this journey is releasing the past and rewriting your story. This doesn't mean forgetting what happened, but it does mean changing the meaning you assign to it. You have to let go of the idea that your past dictates your future. One powerful technique the book highlights is challenging your limiting beliefs. When a thought like "I'm not smart enough" comes up, you need to question it. Where did that belief come from? Is it really true? What evidence do you have to the contrary? You can then consciously replace it with a new, empowering belief, like "I am capable of learning and growing." This is about actively reprogramming your subconscious mind. Another key aspect is forgiveness. Forgiving others, yes, but most importantly, forgiving yourself. You have to forgive yourself for past mistakes and for the ways you've held yourself back. You were doing the best you could with the tools you had at the time. Releasing that guilt and shame frees up an immense amount of energy that you can now use to build your future. As you begin to do this inner work, you'll start to build what Wiest calls strong inner foundations. This is about developing self-trust, self-respect, and a solid sense of self-worth that isn't dependent on external validation. You start making choices that are aligned with your true self, not with your fears. This means setting healthy boundaries in your relationships, pursuing work that genuinely fulfills you, and taking care of your physical and mental health. It's about becoming your own source of validation and support. The mountain doesn't just disappear. Instead, you become a stronger, more skilled climber. You learn to navigate the terrain. You develop resilience. You learn to enjoy the journey, not just fixate on the summit. When you have a strong inner foundation, you're no longer easily shaken by external circumstances. You have an internal compass that guides you, even when the path is unclear. You start to see challenges, not as threats, but as opportunities for growth. Finally, the book emphasizes that this is a continuous process. Conquering the mountain of you isn't a one-time event. It's a lifelong practice of self-awareness and conscious choice. There will be days when you slip back into old patterns. There will be times when the climb feels incredibly difficult. The key is to approach yourself with compassion, not criticism. Every setback is a learning opportunity. Each time you catch yourself in a self-sabotaging pattern and choose a different path, you are strengthening that new neural pathway in your brain. You are literally rewiring yourself for success and happiness. The goal isn't to become perfect, it's to become whole. It's about integrating all parts of yourself, the light and the shadow, and learning to work with them, not against them. It is about finally understanding that the power to change your life does not lie at the top of some distant mountain. It has been inside you all along. You just have to learn how to unlock it. In summary, The Mountain Is You is a transformative guide that teaches us that self-sabotage is not a character flaw, but a misguided attempt at self-protection. By understanding its roots in our subconscious beliefs and unresolved emotions, we can begin to heal. The path forward involves developing radical self-awareness, learning to process our emotions, releasing the past, and building a strong inner foundation of self-worth. It's about shifting from being your own biggest obstacle to becoming your own greatest ally. The journey may be challenging, but it's the most rewarding one you'll ever take. You are the mountain, but you are also the climber. The choice of how you navigate it is entirely yours. I hope this summary has given you some powerful insights and inspired you to start your own climb. If you've read the book, I'd love to hear your biggest takeaways in the comments below. What part of the message resonated with you the most? Thanks so much for watching. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more deep dives into life-changing books. See you in the next video.